Do you know who I am? I'm Sonic! Sonic the Hedgehog! Can you feel life moving through your mind? Ooh, looks like it came back for more! Yeah! Can you feel time slipping down your spine?
Sup Team Sonic, it's me, Sonic the Hedgehog here, and welcome back to another reaction video. Today we'll be reacting to Mr. Nightmare once again, and we'll be reacting to 3 true Ding Dong Ditch horror stories, but I'm not going to be alone this time. I've been joined by my little buddy, Tails. Say hi, Tails.
Sup, Sonic?
Sup, Tails, how are you, bud?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm very good, cheers, Tails. So, have you ever watched these videos before?
I don't think I have, but I might have done.
Well, anyway, yeah, we're reacting to horror stories pretty much. This is what the channel's about, but yeah, you'll get more involved with it as we go along, but yeah, without further ado, are you ready to get right into this?
Of course, Sonic.
Right, let's go!
Let's do this. On what is Ding Dong Ditch?
It's basically a game that kids play. I'm not sure what it is, but I think one of these stories might explain it to us a bit of detail.
Okay.
One questionable activity my old friends and I would partake in when we were young was Ding Dong Ditch, where you run up to someone's door, knock or ring the bell, then run away or hide.
Oh, that makes sense.
We do it from time to time when we were feeling mischievous or bored. At the time, someone moved across the street from my friend Stefan, who lived a block down from me. He kept telling us how sketchy it seemed. No one would ever see them leave their house, the blinds were always closed at every window, and there were never any lights on. Yet there was
That's
always
a bit weird,
red
isn't it?
Toyota pickup truck in the driveway all hours of the
Yeah,
day.
I don't like that. I don't like
No
where
one
this
really
is going.
seemed to know who was living there or what they looked
I
like.
think I say this in every video.
So one night, we thought
I've
it
done
would be a
Mr.
good
Nightmare.
idea to target it while we were out ding-dong ditching. My friend Jake and I hid behind a nearby car while Stefan ran up to the door. We could tell he rang the bell like 5 times, and we chuckled because of it.
Why would you ring
Finally
it
ran
5
for cover in a
times?
bush, separating that property from
I don't
the
know, that's a
neighboring
bit
property.
stupid.
We waited for the door to open, but alas, it never did. So Stefan ran back to the door and rang it a bunch more times, probably closer to like 10 rings this time.
Why would you bother doing that
As he
10
ran for his
times?
same hiding spot,
I know, why
noticed
would
the
you
curtains to one of the front windows
do
moving
like a
little
few
bit.
times and then just go?
I didn't see anyone's face, but that confirmed
If
someone
no one's
was inside
answering.
the house. The door never opened,
Yeah, that's
but Jake
just
and I
dumb.
were afraid to yell over to him not to do it again. Stefan never looked over at us, so he never even gave us a chance to wave at him to stop there. He waited half a minute before going back to the door, but I swear before he could even ring the bell, the door pulled open, and all Jake and I saw was someone's arm reach out from the house to grab Stefan. He screamed a
God.
high-pitched scream like a girl. Jake and I looked at each other with horrified looks on our faces. Stefan managed to break free from the grip, and continued screaming as he ran past us across the street to his house. The front door to the house slammed shut. No one came out chasing after
Jesus
us.
Christ.
We followed Stefan to his house, and as soon as we got inside, I told him that was a
kinda
horrible
deserve it,
idea.
though.
Now that person would know they
Yeah,
were
they do.
neighbors. But he said he didn't care. He told his parents about it, who at first were mad at us, but sounded a bit concerned after some explaining about the aggressive way the man inside the house tried pulling him in. Still, neither of his parents wanted to go knock on the door, considering we were ding-dong ditching after all. Jake went home. I stayed over Stefan's house to sleep over. His parents always complained about us being too loud after they went to sleep, so we hung out in his backyard. We were playing Pokemon on our DSs for a while and talked more about what happened across the
Pokemon
street.
Go.
Seriously, Tails.
He said he didn't see much of the man's face, and he was pretty well
I
hidden
know, but
behind
the
the
song's
door,
still in my head.
but he could tell it was a man by his veiny
can
hands and
tell.
strength. The man grabbed him by the collar of his shirt, so Stefan was able to free himself from the man's grip pretty easily.
Oh,
At
Jesus.
some point while in the yard, I remember hearing a thump kind of noise. But I didn't even feel like it was worth
It's gonna be
bringing
that
up
guy
to
again,
Stefan.
innit?
I just made a mental
Oh,
note of
boy.
it, and maybe he did too, who knows. Eventually it got too chilly to sit outside anymore, and we were getting a little tired, so we went back inside. We noticed it was a lot chillier on the first floor than it had been before we went outside. Stefan realized why fairly quickly. The sliding dining room window was open all the way, and a breeze of cold air was pouring in. But his parents definitely didn't open
Oh,
it.
God. He's
Something
broken in,
wasn't
innit?
Oh God.
There was the sound of a footstep or something
Jesus.
falling on the carpeted floor above us, in Stefan's room. It set him off screaming for his parents. The house has a very open layout, so of course they heard him and came rushing out of their room, confused and worried as hell. We pointed at the open window, then said someone's in his room upstairs. His dad ran downstairs to grab the biggest kitchen knife they had and ran back upstairs as we all waited in fear for something to happen upstairs.
Oh god.
His mom hugged us and tried to comfort us
I
while
don't
she
like where
called
this
the
is
police.
going, to be honest.
Stefan's dad started to scream. Not
Whoa.
like a scared scream or a scream out of pain, but more so an angry scream. We waited downstairs
Triggered.
until the cops showed up, and they went up to Stefan's room. What actually happened is so disturbing. As anyone could guess, the break-in point was the window. Stefan's dad checked his son's room and heard something in the closet. Upon opening it, someone tried to lunge at him, but he immediately got worse.
Oh
The
god.
break-in point was the window.
Didn't mean to skip back
Stefan's
then.
dad checked his son's room and heard something in the closet. Upon opening it, someone tried to lunge at him, but he immediately
God.
got one good stab in the person.
Damn, he's got good
We found out
reflexes.
minutes later that it
Like
was
me.
the neighbor from across the street.
Yeah, I can see.
How we knew was because Stefan
I can see
instantly
you doing that,
recognized the white
Sonic.
sleeves he was wearing and the scabs on his hand. The man was as scary looking as we imagined.
To be honest, I'm not really surprised
Stefan's
if I do
family
end up
got a
doing that
restraining
someday.
order against the man and refused to live across the street from him any longer.
If there was a
They
break-in,
moved
then
within
yeah.
a few months to a house in the same town.
Damn. And they kind of deserve it though for going to the guy's door like so many times.
This is a story that
True.
happened a few days ago. My friends and I really like to do some crazy things such as ding-dong ditching, which is what we were doing on Friday night. I'll refer to my friends as C, B, E, A, and Ben. There was
You
this
want to
one
reference
corner
any
house
more
on an opening
alphabet
to a
or...
cul-de-sac. My friend E said I should ring the
A,
bell.
B, C,
So I
D,
did it because I was
E,
not the
F,
kind of
G.
person to not do something just because I might get in trouble for it. So I walked up to the stoop and knocked on the door and ran. We ran maybe 3
Well, it's
houses
called
down
ding-dong
behind the
ditching,
car
not
so we could
knock
still
on
get a
door and
good
then
view of the
ditch.
house we just did. The guy came outside, walked around, and I think spotted either myself, E, or Ben. So he screamed "hey" at us, and we ran like normal if this happened. We all laughed it off like we usually would. Then we all agreed like a bunch of idiots that we would do the same house again. So we walked around
Why?
the street to the house.
You're just
and we all
asking
debated
for
who
this
should
to
ring.
happen.
I didn't,
I
because
know.
I just did like the last 3 houses. So we all agreed Ben should do it. So there went Ben up to the door, knocked, and ran. C, B, and A were on the corner of the street along with Ben after he rang, while me and E were behind a car right across the street from the house. It was like he was waiting right at the door, because only about 5 seconds after Ben rang the bell, he came sprinting outside.
Oh
He
god.
got to the bottom of his driveway and screamed, "Hey, come here.
Oh
Come here
my
now."
god.
That was my cue to run.
No,
so
thanks.
I sprinted as fast
don't
as I
really wanna
could to
come
the
over there,
corner and
thanks.
around the block. I kept on sprinting until I caught up to Ben, C, A, and B. We had walked about the whole street gathering our thoughts when A pointed out that E was missing. We all looked at each other, obviously
Ah,
very
crap.
worried for him. We called him and he picked up out of breath and
God
was
damn it,
demanding
E.
us to go back to the house because he was chasing him. So we went about halfway down the street, still on the phone with E, and then he dropped the bomb. The man had a gun. We knew this
Oh,
because
God.
he said he heard the man scream, "I'm
What
gonna
the hell?
blow your fucking brains
Is he
out."
American then?
I actually began to tear up.
Seriously, Sonic,
We were all
you
very
had to.
worried for E.
Yeah. To be honest, I
Within
had
5
to.
minutes of E telling us to go back to the house, we made it to A's backyard.
Why would
and
you
waited
want to
for
go
E
back?
make it back.
Alright.
He was saying he was very close, so we walked out of the backyard, and there he was. We all hugged him, and were so grateful he was okay.
Oh, we went back to his house. I
We all
thought you
went
meant
A's
to the guy's
backyard
house. It's like, what
afterwards
the hell are
to
you
talk
doing
about
back
what
there?
happened. The first thing E said was that
Yeah,
he
that'd be
got
a
the
bit
whole
dumb if
thing
they
on
went
video,
back.
so he showed us.
Oh god, they got a video.
Oh, damn.
Hey, come here now! Come here now!
No thanks.
Come here!
Is he hid under his car?
I think he was.
What the hell are you hiding under his car for? You brainless chicken.
Run!
Well, we know he makes it because the original story Richard just told us.
So what happened that I was completely unaware of was that when I ran away from behind the car, the man started chasing me. Then E apparently got up and ran the opposite way, kind of putting the man in a pickle as to who he wanted to go after. He chose E, and he ran from him almost all the way down the street before hiding under a car until he felt it was safe
If
to
you were
run
Ding
back.
Dong Ditching, you kind of went a bit
This was the
extreme
most
there, mate.
insane night of my life, and I couldn't
Yeah.
thank E enough, because if it weren't for him, who knows what that guy would have done to me if he had caught up.
I think, he did take that a bit extreme there, but, you know. Okay, last story of the video.
Let's go.
I was a very sheltered child, and I didn't really start going out until college, really. High school, I kind of never really went out much, so when the opportunity to do something slightly rebellious came about, I would jump on it. My cousin Rob, who was infinitely cooler than me, would hang out with me in my days before college. He'd always be down to go out and get into trouble. There was this one time he called me and told me to meet him at his house. We'd be going ding-dong ditching. I brought along my flashlight just because it was dark and there weren't many streetlights in my old neighborhood. He also brought along 2 walkie-talkies and handed me one.
What is this,
Houses
the
were also a
FBI?
little further between than your typical suburb. Rob led the way down the road, yelling things, hitting stop signs with his hands. He always had a lot more energy than me. We veered off the street and cut through some trees onto someone's property. There was nothing
Why
but a
did he say
single
that like it was a
walkway.
completely normal sentence?
No lights on
be
inside
honest, I have
or
no
outside
clue.
the house. Rob told me to run around back and wait for his signal to ring the backyard bell. He was trying to make the homeowner run back and forth, not knowing where to go. We tested the walkie-talkies and they were all good. I waited in the backyard of this property. It was extremely dark and quiet back there. To be honest, I was really scared. Rob gave the
Ha,
go-ahead
wimp.
to ring right after he rang the bell a bunch of times.
Sonic.
I rang it twice, then ran for cover behind a bush. I waited in that bush and walkie-talkied Rob, seeing if anyone had come out front. Negative. I told him it was looking the same in the back. After a minute, he told me to go to the back door. I looked into the huge
Yeah, it makes
back
more
window to
sense.
see if I could
He's
see
not
inside.
in.
There was this tall-looking piece of furniture right
Yeah.
in front of the window.
If he's not answered, he's
and there
obviously
was
not
this red
in, or
flashing light
can't
in
be
one
asked.
corner of the room. That was
Or,
about all I
or he's
could see.
asleep.
Rob rang the bell a bunch of times again. I heard it from where I was crouching. It was my turn. I rang the bell a couple times, which, yes, had a different sound, so you could
Bloody hell,
distinguish
just
the
try
two.
the other
I ran back
houses.
to my bush
Daniel,
and waited again.
we'll find a house.
Rob said over the walkie-talkie that
Yeah,
nothing
why
was
did you go into
happening.
this house?
It was the same on my end. Why wasn't anyone answering?
It's
I
night
did
time,
think
you
I
moron.
see
You could
something
be
moving from
asleep.
inside the window, though. Something small. I told Rob over the walkie-talkie. He said I should just check it out with my flashlight. So, trying to be cool, I did. I flicked on the light as I got closer to the back window, and when the light shone through the window, it revealed that tall object on the other side of the window wasn't a piece of furniture. It was some creepy-looking, smiling man, and the thing I saw moving was his waving hand.
Bloody hell.
He walked away from the window at
Jesus.
an unsettlingly quick speed and arrived at the back door. He opened it and started approaching me.
Don't worry,
with a
Chelsea, you'll be
horrific
fine.
speed walking kind of pace.
I know
As he
these are
was
true
asking me to
stories,
come
but
inside. I dropped the
I don't know how
walkie-talkie and
else to be more
screamed and ran
comforting.
for Rob.
You're not
He
doing
met me
very
in
well
the
at
front
this,
of the
Sonic.
house, and
I
we saw
know.
the man from the back quickly approaching the two of us in the same speed walking pace. What made it even worse was he didn't say anything else.
Oh god.
We ran back to Rob's house, whose
Run!
parents were already asleep. We were catching our breath in his basement when the beep of the walkie-talkie went off. There was a breathing from the other walkie-talkie, then an old man's voice whispering, "Where are you kids? I'm not gonna hurt you, I just want to give you your walkie-talkie." The fact
don't
that
like the way he
frequency was
said
reaching
that.
us in a basement meant he was
Neither
close.
do I.
That was the scariest part. We turned off the walkie-talkie out of fear and turned off all the lights. In case you're thinking this was some sweet, innocent man trying to be nice, there's no chance. He was literally chasing us, and he had this look about him that screamed child predator. We were young, but we were definitely smart enough to realize he may have been after us because of our age. We never told our parents, though, because they would
Why?
have grounded
They could
us
have done
just for
something
going
about
out
it.
ding-dong ditching.
I don't know, they
It
might
was
have
just
had
a
a specific
disturbing
reason
memory
for it.
we'd have to deal with. We were lucky we got away okay, though.
Well, that's well, damn. I don't even know what to say to that, but damn, that was a good video. What do you think about it, Tails?
It was good. It was a bit scary, but I enjoyed it.
There you go. But yeah, for future Missing Nightmare videos, I'll be bringing more of my friends along. I'll be bringing, obviously, Tails, Knuckles, Classic Me, Shadow, and maybe, like, some more of our friends in the future. But yeah, that's going to be the end of this video here. Spin dash the like button, subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any more videos from me. I want to say thank you for Tails to be joining me today.
You're welcome, Sonic.
And yeah, see you later, Team Sonic. Sonic the Hedgehog out. Bye, guys. Bye.
Now it's all within my reach.